What's up, YSN Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, the home of the Springfield Tigers. Tiger Night every Tuesday, and you can't have Tigers Night if you don't have it at the Tigers table. They'll be a part of Springfield football, the home of Springfield athletics all season long. Cannot thank Melissa Chambers and Rob and Tiffany Martin and Debbie an awful lot for being a part of the YSN family and also being the home of the Springfield Tigers. Proud to be joined by the head ball coach of the Tigers, Coach Guerriero. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us. This is awesome.
How that's first question. Like, we used to do it. You said at home and at night. We incorporate these things. Your three tri captains. I can't say enough about Sean. They handled them so well. What does that mean to you when you see it turn out like this?
Well, it's you walk in here and you see this much support, but that's how the community is. That's how the school has been built. The following that we have has been great. With the success of us traveling and having all those games, it's just built up to this. It's just a great environment, a great community, great support, and you see this part, or I guess it's more because we've done this before, but to have the other groups, whether you said cheerleading, soccer,
get them
volleyball, all in band, have those kids coming in, you're just going to see it's just a great community and school system to be a part of, and you can see how close, and you'll see tonight, even the football players have come in to see the three seniors. The support, that we get is awesome.
Yeah, that's what blows me away, and I've talked with you a lot, and Quinn knows this is one of the favorite things I like to do because you get a chance to not only talk with a coach or with a kid, you get to learn a little bit about them. And I think that's one of the things that I respect about your program is no matter they're seniors this year, but all the guys that you've had in the past, I could go down so many great players. Those guys are still involved with you somehow, some way, by a text, by a message in daily life. Is that what drives you, I guess, in year 17? What drives Sean to continue to do what you do?
Well, you say that. It's watching the kids grow up. It's seeing, one thing that I love is we still have a kind of a football golf outing as a fundraiser, but right now, the past probably 4 or 5 years, I'm starting to get kids that are contributing,
Sure.
That have been through the program, understand, what we do and what we try to, do with our kids and bringing up for them to be young men. But to see those guys become a part of the community is really special. When you see somebody, whether you're at the bank or store or something, and still hugging, still
Sure.
embracing, and it's that bond that you end up having with these kids that's special. And they understand what the kids are going through.
With Coach Guerriero, 17 years. You're old.
I'm getting there.
You're old. I'm going to say it. You're old. No. Talk about this group a little bit. Talk about this football team, this senior class. And I talked with them a lot. You 0-3 last year, and then you rattle off 7 in a row. That had to be a great thing for you guys as a staff to see them battle some adversity. Now you go into these guys in this year. Has that helped as you progress into the season?
Well, I think they understand the process a little bit better. Last year going through those games, I talked to them a lot about, listen, we don't have to win a state championship in the first couple of weeks. So for that, we got to be playing our best football, by the end of the season. That's the same thing with this, with the scheduling and 16 teams making it. I feel like as a football program, you should schedule up. So for us to be able to play South Range, Brookfield, Geneva, have those games to start us off, because we're going to find out if we're good. We're going to find out if we can be a contender. We're going to find out, kind of how good we can get off those first couple games. So I feel if we schedule up, we're going to be challenged. We understand, what to work on as a staff and what we need to do to try to get the kids to be successful on the football field. So I feel like you got to schedule up and play these games. And our kids respond to that too, but it's about the process and the learning of it with these kids. And we started at 0-4 last year, but how we were playing by the end of the season, I was so proud of
Absolutely.
how they've grown and how they were playing to play a great JFK team last year in week 12 for us and play them the way we did. It's just you understand how proud that our staff was of how they responded and how they got better every year.
This seems like a tight group. Are they that tight on and off the field, everything they do?
They are. That's one thing I do like about this group. When you talk about the seniors, in general, this is a group that obviously my son's a part of. So
right.
I've been a little bit more involved when the kids were growing up in basketball intramurals and things of that nature. So I kind of maybe have a little bit more of a bond with these guys because they're over the house
Sure.
and things of that. So with these kids and how they're growing, most of them, were ball boys for me, and they've just been around. So this group is a little bit special, but you see them wherever they go, and there's probably, 10, 15 of them here, but The other night, we went to my daughter at a soccer scrimmage. There was probably 30 of our players at the soccer scrimmage.
That's awesome to see.
So just to see that they like to hang out with each other, that they embracing each other. And when the kids talk about the bond that they have and the friendship and the brotherhood, I mean, they really do have that, and it's created. And I don't know if it's just football, but I do think that helps. But just understand that we got to play together and become a team.
With Coach Guerriero, Coach's Corner, every Tuesday night at the Tigers table. South Range coming to town, the defending state champs. Friday night, we'll have it for you on ysnlive.com. You have a great staff. You got some guys that are very good football coaches. Talk about them a little bit.
Well, right now, Adam Slopek is my DC, who's been with me for the entirety, and that's really one thing about my staff. Most of those guys have been with me for the long haul. So you see, Adam Slopek does a great job. He runs the weight room for us in the off season. He's a guy that's kind of a bad guy because he kind of gets after it. And I know the kids end up. I mean, most of the time they end up making fun of me, but he puts the hammer down on them,
sure,
and ends up kind of being that disciplinarian for him. I got Joe Antonucci, who's been with me for a while. Does our D line, is our assistant coach with our O line, does a great job. He's kind of in charge of more of our huddle type stuff and the things, and that's something that we've been getting better at every year. Bill Miller's another guy who's been with me for the long haul. I always call him. People don't understand the influence that the assistant coaches have, and we've been together so long. And Bill's been a guy where we're on the same page, sure, and we understand. And he does the wideouts. He does DBs with me on the defensive side. But just for us to be together at that point, it's been great. Picked up Mike Popio from Boardman a couple years ago, who has probably 35 years experience. And then we started bringing a couple young kids in. I had a kid who played at Springfield, Casey Jones. Yeah. Who graduated, I think, in 06 or 07 that year, who's come along and understands, the pride that Springfield has and when I'm going in what we bring. Brandon Walters has been a new guy who's volunteering this year, but he's going to Kent. He's doing an internship, so he's coming. And I just picked up Paul Julia.
It's a pretty good pickup.
Not bad. There's another
pretty good
guy,
football coach. Yeah, those guys. I love your staff. I do. So shout out to the Springfield Tigers assistant staff. I look forward to getting some of those guys on one week and talking about them. How special is it to coach your son? Is it harder?
He would probably say that. I think I'm a little bit harder. I know I'm probably harder on him. I know my staff always tells me you got to lighten up, but the expectation he has for himself, I feel is pretty high. And one thing I like about him, I think he's more of a student of the game. He sits back and watch films and understand what's going on. And he'll kind of surprise me every once in a while with the things, or by watching film and doing that. So I couldn't ask for a better kid, and just him working hard and playing hard. So, but it is for me to end up being this, but. Again, with the kids and the bonds that we have with the kids, and I feel like that with the kids, I feel like I could have 60 of them.
Sure.
These are guys, and we do. I try to make it fun and try to make it exciting and bring some energy. And obviously, what the kids end up saying about me.
Well, that's a credit to you. They talk awful highly of you, so shout out to you. All right, South Range, tell me a little bit about them. The defending state champ, obviously, Coach Rock, first year. Coach Rock's a good football coach.
Oh, no, he's very good. He's very good. And obviously, the level that they play at, they've done the same thing. They've had a good staff there for years. The kids are going to be prepared. They're going to play hard. Their defense is going to run to the football and get downhill. Offensively, they're always going to have the basic. They're going to run the buck sweep and run the football, and kind of very, very similar to us with that. But their kids really don't make mistakes. That's the hard part about them. Very disciplined in what they do. And again, that comes from coaching. So I couldn't say enough about them and how they run the program, even with Dan,
Sure.
what I mean, or Rock. They've done a great job, and it's just trying to keep it, keep it going is kind of the hard part.
You see an excitement level out of this group. It has to be exciting to open up. And I want to ask you the new turf. Talk about that a little bit. I know Coach Beam, as the AD, played a part, the administration, to get that turf in. That has to be special for you.
It is. And I think it kind of tops it off with our atmosphere.
Right.
When you come to our place on a Friday,
it's the best atmosphere. It's one of the best atmospheres around.
It's something special.
Can it get better than that? Is my question. Yes.
We just got to try to keep winning. Wins always make it a little bit more special. So if we can do that, our community, I couldn't say enough about our community and how they end up treating the kids and the fan base that we have. I know the kids are excited because it's going to be a pack house come Friday.
Well, there you go, Coach Guerriero, Coach's Corner every Tuesday night. Thank you all for a great turnout tonight. Before I let you go here, I'm going to let them all hear it. I do this with Sean every year. Coach Guerrero's keys to beating South Range.
For us, it'll be not turning the ball over. I think our special teams could have a big play in this. Okay. I think that's where, if we can make an improvement on that, I think our special teams could have a key play in this.
Does cramping come into play? I mean, how has the summer? Everything's so condensed now. Conditioning. You're one of the guys that believe in a lot in conditioning. From a conditioning standpoint, where do you think you're at?
Well, you got to always, you have to always, you know what I mean, try to push the kids and get them through practice. And that's the hard part of getting the kids to buy into that. But one thing about this group that I think, there might be a little bit more, I do feel like we have more depth than we ever have. So with that, to be able to, some of these kids got to be able to make sure if they got to take off a couple plays to get somebody else in there. We got faith in our kids, and we got other kids that can step up and play. And hopefully with trying to develop that depth throughout the season, hopefully that'll end up helping us in the long run. But right now, when you come off and you play a half and you don't know how the kids are, I mean, it's tough. But we train our kids hard and we try to push them. But that'll be a thing where I think our key is this year. I do think we have a little bit more depth than we've had in the past.
Well, there you have it, Tiger Nation. Friday night at Springfield, the defending champs come to town, 7 o'clock. We'll have the game for you, Noah Dowdy and myself at 7 o'clock from YSN. Cannot thank Melissa, Tiffany, Rob, and Debbie for their entertainment. They're providing everything for this great group. Cannot thank all the fans for coming out. Sean, I said it, after we get a big W against South Range, we're going to pack this place even better. Thanks for coming on, and good luck.
Thank you.